Okay, another video, another question on multiplying matrices, and it is really hot. Sorry, it's in the middle of a UK heat wave, so it's pretty hot in here, pretty toasty, but we'll keep going because it's hopefully going to be useful. Anyway, the question is work out all of these solutions for x and for y. So it's another matrix multiplication question, and this time notice it says all of the solutions for x and y. There's going to be more than one solution for x and for y. A little bit trickier, but nothing that you can't handle. But like previously, you just want to begin by multiplying out the matrices using the methods that you've done before, rows with the columns, and it will begin to unfold. So let's go and do that. Now you've got a 2 by 2 and you're timesing it by a 2 by 1, so it's going to end up being a 2 by 1 matrix. So that's good to know for starters. And we go and do the x times by the x, okay, which gives you x squared. So straight away I can see we've got x squared, quadratic. There's going to be more than one solution in this case. And I'm going to do 1 times by negative 3, which is minus 3, and that is my first term. Done. Second part, I do my second row, my first column, negative 4 times by x, which is minus 4x, and then I go and do y times by minus 3, which is minus 3, and then y, finito. Done. So I've just multiplied out the first two matrices as follows, and that must be equal to the right-hand side, which is 2x over here, and 9 down here. Maybe you're thinking from here, what on earth goes on? Well, you're comparing terms. What does that really mean? It just means this, if I can get my highlighter. It just means, well, the top term over here, because these two matrices are equal, the top term must be equal to the top term on the right-hand side. So you can make an equation there. And similarly, we can see down here, we've got the bottom term must be equal to the bottom term over here. So you can equate them, you can put them equal to each other. Okay, so let's go and do that now. So I could consider the bottom one first, but that would be a little bit crazy because you've got two unknowns. You're missing x and you're missing y. Now, when you solve equations in maths, having more than one unknown isn't useful. And the top one, you've only got one unknown, one variable, which is x. Okay, you've got x squared, but it's still just x. Okay, it's one unknown. So we can go and create an equation here and say that x squared minus 3 must be equal to the right-hand side, which is 2x. Now from here, you want to find the value of x. You want to get x on its own. You want to get all of the x's onto one side. So I'm going to go and take this positive 2x and take it away onto my left-hand side. Because then I'm going to be getting x squared minus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. Now, hopefully now you're spotting that this is a quadratic that you can solve. Okay, and from your GCSE maths, the way that you solve this, or you've got to factorize it first of all, is to say, well, what numbers multiply to give you the last term, which is minus 3, and that add to give you the middle term, which is minus 2. Now, those two numbers are going to be 3 and 1, but one's going to be negative, so it's going to be negative 3 and plus 1. And just check this bit makes sense, right? If we go and do negative 3 times 1, you do get minus 3, which is really good. And what's minus 3 add 1? Minus 2. It makes sense. Therefore, this quadratic is going to factorize just to simply go to x take away 3 and then x plus 1. And that must be equal to 0. I've got to solve this now. I'll just go and switch the coefficients in this case. So it's going to be x is equal to plus 3 and x is equal to minus 1. So what you've done is you've just found the x solutions. Okay, you've worked out the x solutions for this. You know that x must be equal to 3 and x is negative 1. But there's going to be corresponding y values that match with these x values. So let's go and find those out over here. Let's do it in blue over here. So the first one is going to be when x is equal to 3. Okay, when x is equal to 3, I want to find the missing y value. Now I need to get another equation here, which I can do because I've got on the bottom here minus 4x minus 3y must be equal to 9. So we can use the minus 4x minus 3y must be equal to 9. And I can substitute in the x value of 3 into this equation and find the one unknown, which is y. So we're going to be getting minus 4 times your x value, which is 3, minus 3y must be equal to 9. Minus 4 times by 3 is minus 12, minus 3y gives you 9. Now this is really good. You've got an equation with just one unknown, which is y, which is exactly what you wanted. Now to get the minus 12 onto the right hand side, just go and add it on. So we're going to be left with minus 3y is equal to 9 plus 12, which is 21. And minus 3 times by minus 3 times by minus 7 is going to give you positive 21. So y must be equal to negative 7. So double check it. 21 divided by minus 3 gives you minus 7. Perfect. Good. So that's our first kind of pair of solutions, but we'll write it out in a second. When x is equal to 3, your y value is equal to minus 7. I'm going to go and write it up here. So y is going to be equal to negative 7 up here. Bam, bam. Done. Now, similarly, we do the same thing for when x is equal to minus 1. When x is equal to negative 1, we put it into the equation to find the missing y value. Again, using the equation over here. So it's going to be minus 4 times your x value, which is minus 1 minus 3y is equal to 9. Minus 4 times by minus 1, you're timesing two negatives, will give you plus 4. Minus 3y is equal to 9. And we're just going to rearrange it. So let's go and take this positive 4 onto the right-hand side by taking it away. So minus 3y is going to be equal to 5. Now, minus 3 times something gives you 5. You want to divide here by negative 3. Okay, and if you divide 5 by minus 3, just write it as a fraction. Y is going to be equal to 5 divided by minus 3. We can just write it like this. That's fine. Or you could write it as a decimal, minus 1.666 recurring, or as a mixed number, minus 1.2, minus 1 2/3. But leave it like this. That's probably the best way to write it. Okay, so that's the second pair. So when x is negative 1, y is equal to minus 5 over 3. So you've got kind of like pairs of solutions here. You've got the first one, x is 3, y is minus 7, and you've got x is minus 1, and y is minus 5 over 3. And that is it. Now, just to make it really clear for the solution, I'm going to kind of rewrite it in a different colour. Let's do it in purple. So your solutions, I'm going to write in the top left, because I've got a space, is when you've got x is equal to 3, and the y value was equal to minus 7. That's like the first pair of solutions. And the second one is when x is equal to minus 1, y is equal to minus 5 over 3. And that's good. That should be it. I'm just going to double check. That's fine. 21. Yeah, it should all be good. Okay, perfect. And that's it. Thank you for watching.